Dear viewers, a warm welcome. It is a great pleasure to welcome all of you at the international discussion initiated by volunteers of the Creative Society project. Today, we continue our conversation about some of the world's most important topics and how we, together, can really change our future for the better. On the 7th of May took place a global and unprecedented event, the International Online Forum Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live. The information voiced during this forum is not something that you would hear in the mainstream media. Why? Because people voiced the truth about the horrors that we as society are facing now, and that the consumerist format of the society is currently bringing our civilization to the abyss. But we are people, we want to live, and we surely will not let that happen.
Yes, and multiple vital topics that concern every single person on our planet were presented on the forum. Shocking facts and figures. Volunteers of Creative Society project all over the world for 5 months were doing a huge amount of research and fact-finding so that we all have access to this information and could take action while we still have a chance. Yes, it might be difficult to watch some of the episodes of the forum, but if we fail to hear the truth now and make active, united efforts, tomorrow it may be too late. So, today we are glad to introduce our dear guests who decided to take this action. And our guest, Her Majesty Queen Dr. Uba Iwunwa, Ambassador General of World Aid Organization for Human Rights Canada, and Secretary General, World Accreditation of Human Rights, Nigeria. Welcome, Dr. Uba. And Erkinbek Omarov from Kazakhstan. Erkinbek is a manager and active participant of Creative Society. Welcome, Erkinbek.
Здравствуйте.
And before we actually begin our discussion itself, let's watch an episode from the Global Forum about the main enemy of the entire humanity.
Humanity's last war is already underway. The enemy is destroying everyone in its path.
At first, I thought it was a bomb explosion.
It's scary. It's very scary.
I honestly thought that I was going to die.
What was happening was like a nightmare.
Everything was destroyed.
I couldn't stand to see the corpse of a mother hugging her burnt child.
My heart is breaking with pain.
Our enemy is climate.
Everything was destroyed.
There was no warning, no advice, nothing.
When I went out, I saw something that looked like a tsunami.
My father died right under our rubbled house. If only I could have helped him. I thought my family and I would die because the wind and the rain were unbelievably strong.
I'm looking for my wife and I need her.
I want to be strong, but I can't hold back my tears.
When we realized that the water had invaded the house, we only had time to get people out of the house.
There was no time to grab anything, and I lost everything.
And these are just its first attacks. It won't agree on humanitarian corridors. It won't sign a peace agreement. It doesn't need time to regroup. And it won't run out of missiles. With each new attack, the enemy only gets stronger. What can we oppose against this enemy? Can we, humans, survive this war? If meanwhile, instead of carrying out planetary mobilization and creating a united front, we are killing each other.
I don't want to die. I want it all to be over as soon as possible. Suddenly the windows started shaking, and with the second one, everything exploded. They were actually burnt alive.
The second bomb dropped.
We're killing the planet that is our only home. We are investing billions of dollars in pseudoscience and the business of a few, instead of providing for life to billions. We are being artificially divided. We've been inculcated with hatred for one another, and all for the power of a few over the billions over us. But before the climate, everyone is equal. Everyone will lie in one mass grave unless we rally our strength today and stand united against the common enemy. Yes, it's hard, but we must do so if we want to survive. For we are people. We want to live.
You know, no matter how many times I've watched such episodes, it is always very impressive. And this is the truth, without filters. This is the hard truth about the current consumer format of the society that we've been supporting for such a long time. While we are staying silent and not taking active actions for changes, we are simply accepting and supporting these atrocities to continue in our society. Right now, I'd like to address the first question to you, Dr. Uba. Share with us your opinion. Climate does not recognize human rights. And regarding the forum, what is the information that really opened your eyes? What topic really touched you from the forum? Please share it with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I watched the video. Just heartbreaking. And let me start by saying thank you for the team of volunteers that put this video together. It's an eye-opener. The information in the video is a wake-up call for humanity. The topic itself, global crisis. We are people. We want to live. It's the cry for help. It's the cry of many people that have departed this world due to climate change, due to war, from hunger, starvation, poor living condition, poverty. This topic a gift to humanity. It's a wake up for consciousness to raise the vibration of humanity. The whole topic in this discussion is hitting home. I can't really say this is the particular topic that is more important than the other. The three topics that we are going to discuss today is important for us to give a voice to each and every one of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Uba. And you said very precisely, it's a wake-up call. And this is the goal of all of the activities of the volunteers who, in their free time with own resources, are gathering and presenting the information as it is to all of the people all over the world, trying to get to the hearts of the people, trying to approach the people in their own language. The conference was simultaneously interpreted into 100 world languages, so that there is no corner in the world that wouldn't recognize this call. Finally, at the end of the day, it is the decision of the people whether to accept or not to accept, of course. But we have got some very positive feedback and experience, especially from Kazakhstan. And Erkinbek, we know that you are an active participant of Creative Society. You've been active participant for 2 last years, and you understand that Creative Society project is the only way out of all of these crises that humanity is facing today. Can you share with us, please, your experience in spreading the information about Creative Society in Kazakhstan?
Thank you for introducing me. I'm also joining the words of gratitude to Iwunwa and to the all participants of the Creative Society project, because really all the expert scientists who, with the help of their works and scientific works and with the language of facts, have shown people that the climate changes, well, are not a joke at all, that climate changes, they happen not just somewhere else, but this is an increasing process, and that we, all humanity, in order to survive, we have to get united. We should get united. And we should get united in the Creative Society. We should give birth to the idea of the Creative Society. Only then we can become a civilization. We can find the ways out. We will have all the science discoveries for the people, because if we have the scientific potential, just focus on one point, right, we will have ways out, because we have such hazards that humankind has never encountered before. And this is firstly about getting united. And if we talk about our experience just in the country of Kazakhstan, you know that today, drastic and dramatic events are happening in Ukraine, and I've always respected Ukrainian people, and I really respect all the volunteers from Ukraine that do their best, because you guys, you find, just even if your flat is dwelling is destroyed, but you find the spirit to go on, to just inspire other people still, that you still helped with preparation of the international forum, global crisis, where people want to live. And as for Kazakhstan, we also had dramatic events, not a few months ago. That it all started kind of out of the blue. but on the 1st of January, really we had all those rallies and which led to tragedies, not only in Almaty, the capital of Kazakhstan, but also in many other countries of Kazakhstan. Some, organizations or powers, how can we call them, they organized such a way that people were just marching along the streets and, these events, they took many of people's lives. But what is the outcome? What is the outcome of that? It gave us, people of Kazakhstan, an opportunity to look at ourselves kind of from another perspective. And we saw so clearly the just embodiment of the consumerist format of society and what was happening in the streets. And we, as volunteers, of course, we talked with people, we talked about the way out, about just how to survive, how to live decently. It's the Creative Society project. And we did our best to inform as many people as possible. But I would say that this informing, right, the first important stage of building the Creative Society, it was kind of at the same time, not the main trend. But after those dramatic events, in Kazakhstan, we understood that we cannot live without the Creative Society. And we volunteers, we got united and we managed to collect ourselves, so to say, and we got united and we started to write emails, We started writing emails to our president, to our parliament, and we wrote to just different important people, and were informed about the Creative Society. And when what was the forum when there are already just scientific discoveries, right, and innovations, technological innovations that just come on, they can solve lots of issues, but sure, what do we do? So, we started addressing to the legislative powers and executive power. We also wrote to emailed to the mayors, local mayors, and we started we wrote emails and sent them just to all the important people, and then sometimes we saw and we got the feedback actually. Here is a newspaper, for example, you see it's in the Kazakh language, and here is an article. I would like to show it to you. So you can see the symbols, right? The symbols. Right? So it's here it's about the Creative Society, and here is WAOHR speech, if you remember, during the previous conference, right? He is responsible for the ecology department in the Republic of Kazakhstan. He said it really very well that the consumerist format leads humanity to the collapse and deadlock, and on the other hand, of course we have climatic collapse as well. And by the way, after we are we're writing emails and spreading this information, so people started inviting us to different events, and probably you heard about one of our volunteers. He participated in the summit of the Common Treaty, and he managed to present the Creative Society project, and even some public activists, right, they got interested in that information. And we even had, just like recently we had some kind of local elections, right? And we had it was really quite important, and I also participated in those elections, and I also I wanted to be elected with my program. I didn't get elected, but I got the experience, and I'm really very happy that people heard this information from me. And do not be afraid, guys, because there is nothing to be afraid of, only just, probably there is one thing that we might be afraid of, just to feel shameful that we didn't do our best. And Igor Mikhailovich has said, as he said, let us love each other, let's get united. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience, how you promote the Creative Society project in Kazakhstan. I was listening to you, and my heart was beating faster and faster, and right now I'm so excited, and I can barely find the words of how happy I am to hear that you're doing such a tremendous and great job for your country and for all of us as a civilization, because the project that we are working together, we are going to implement globally, and your experience is quite inspiring and very positive example for other nations too. Thank you very much. Thank you. Dear friends, another topic that we are going to raise today, the key problem of our society that we are facing today is the problem of hunger. On the one hand, we have millions of people who are starving every day. And on the other hand, we have millions of tons of food which are thrown away. In order to get a better picture of the complexity and severity of this issue, let's watch together right now an episode from the Global Forum.
Every night, 811 million people go to bed hungry, and already 38 countries are on the brink of starvation. We live in times of instability, pandemics, economic crises, climate disasters, military conflicts. They put millions more people on the brink of starvation. Are you sure you won't be among them? In the consumerist format, no one is secure against starvation these days, but it is such an absurdity. Why? Let's take a look at the technology that already exists. One of them is vertical farms. They have great advantages compared to conventional farms. They produce 300 times more food and up to 30 yields a year. They consume 95% less water and 80% less soil. They make it possible to grow various crops all year round without using pesticides. They don't depend on weather or location and require minimal logistics costs. Harvesting is possible even in Antarctica. Aquaponics. It allows simultaneous breeding of fish and cultivation of vegetables in a single closed cycle. Fish waste fertilizes plants, speeding up their growth by 40%. It is environmentally friendly and can operate in a virtually waste-free way without polluting water bodies. It doesn't involve pesticides and consumes 10 times less water. Yields from 1,000 square meters of land by this method equal to yields from 2 hectares of fields and 20 hectares of ponds. It can be applied in the tropics or an arid desert, and even on the roof of a skyscraper. Humanity has already learned to print food on a 3D printer and to grow fish and chicken meat from cells. Even food made of air is no longer science fiction. A Finnish company is building a factory to produce flour from air and has won the first stage in a competition to provide food for space missions to other planets. We have shown only a few examples of technology, but even they can already resolve the problem of hunger once and for all. Development and introduction of such technologies in the infrastructure of cities will provide people with food everywhere, regardless of crises and disasters. It will make the process of growing food products independent of climate, weather, location, soil fertility, or even logistics. In consumer society, hunger is a prospect for everyone. In the creative society, not a single person in any country of the world will go to bed hungry. It will be up to us, people, to jointly decide which scientific discoveries to implement first, while openness and transparency of information in the creative society will make it possible to ensure reliable control over implementation of our decisions. We really want to live in the creative society. And what about you?
Yes, as we've seen, we have got all of the resources, we have got all of the technologies in order to remove the hunger from Earth once and forever. Dr. Uba, could we ask for your comments on this video? And
as you can see, I'm just happy, like I almost jumped out of my chair when I was just watching the video. From the first video that we watched, my heart sank for humanity. I was very emotional. That's why I couldn't say much, because I was short of words. I was saddened by what is going on and how much time we have. And people need to be aware. So I was very, very emotional, and I didn't want to break down. But this second video has given me hope. Not because while I was watching the video, I'm in Africa. I went to Africa, where many people are dying of hunger. Little children, orphans are dying of starvation. So to see that with creative society, there is hope for a better tomorrow is a thing of joy. It's a thing of joy to spread the message. I'm a volunteer. From the first time I came on Creative Society, I have been a humanitarian all my life, but coming on Creative Society gave me a voice not to be afraid to speak my truth. Creative Society empowered me to do more for humanity, empowered me to see value, more value in what I am doing without any prejudice. Creative Society is a place to be, and I'm very proud to spread the message. Thousands of people are waiting today to see this video from the discussion because I've been promoting it. People in Africa knows about Creative Society because I've been talking to people that have passion for humanity, people that are in service to humanity, humanitarians, philanthropy, people in the government. Even in Canada, on my social media, I am spreading the message of truth. And that truth is Creative Society. Under the umbrella of Creative Society, there is so many opportunities. There is hope for a better tomorrow. Hunger and starvation are killing people all over the world on a daily basis. It's a virus worse than coronavirus. But the attention coronavirus received when the whole world was hit with coronavirus, that left me with a question. Why are we not fighting for hunger the same way the world fought for coronavirus? The world came together and fought coronavirus and preached about it, campaigned about it, helped each other in so many ways. Creative society is calling the world, calling humanity to come together and build a new world where no one will starve, where no one will go hungry, where my people, Africans, will have hope for better tomorrow. Thank you very much for this opportunity to be a part of creative society. Count me in as one of the volunteers. I am a partner, I became an information partner. And I'm proud of creative society. I am not silent, and I will never be silent to spread the message of truth. Thank you, each and every one of you, all the volunteers all over the world who are making a huge difference. And each and every one of us will be spreading this message. I will be spreading this message. I dedicate myself to speak this truth, to spread this message. Oh, this is a new dawn of hope. That's what creative society is. Hope for the hopeless and voice for the voiceless. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I'd like right now to address the question to Ms. Omarov. Share with us your opinion. Why, on the one hand, we have about 1 billion of people who are starving every day in one part of the world, and we have people who are throwing away food in the other part of the world because they have more than they need. Why at the same time we are having a huge number of different organizations, international, national, civil organizations who are kind of working on solving the problem of hunger. However, the problem has not been solved yet.
Знаете, я же тоже смотрел вот эти вот
You know, I also watched these facts about the technologies that already today give us an opportunity to can solve this hunger issue or the lack of water, right? Even out of air, we can take some water and out of fog. And I saw really, you know, when I was watching the video about one of African districts, you know, it just reminded me of my childhood years when, you know, when I was a small boy. My friends and I, we really did not have any lack of just in food or water. There was really everything around us, and we just had all our needs accomplished. But you know, I know that all our material issues, okay, they are finite, and as you know, as well as this water issue, lack of water issue, right? I do not believe that all these national leaders, they're really solving this issue. They kind of ignore the true reason for this phenomenon. They do not accept, they don't want to accept the fact that the reason for climate change is the cyclicity, right? That really everything is interconnected, and all these scientific discoveries and innovations, well, it sounds ridiculous, right? So answering your question, Konstantin, it's again all happening, all these problems we have today, they're just because of this consumerist format of society. Because if, for example, the rich people write different entrepreneurs and so on, well, they have these treaties, right? And the main idea there is that the main mission is profit, gaining profit. So I remember when I also kind of made such treaties, right? I was kind of feeling not quite comfortable because why do they just say that the main goal of a business, right, or anything, entrepreneurship is just profit? Okay, well, it's of course understandable, but in fact, everything is focused on gaining profit nowadays in our consumerist format of society. But how one gets this profit? Well, it's kind of we all close eyes to that, because when money is the main value in the society, then of course we'll have such issues as hunger, like water, and all the scientific discoveries, innovations that should be already implemented today. But if we take it honestly, yeah, this should be implemented. But again, the consumer society, they again made privilege of those innovations as well, again, gaining profit for them. I do not believe that's only for example, well, it's typical for Kazakhstan. I believe it's typical for all the countries. And I must also confess to you that a long time ago, when my mom my mom had lots of magazines just about science, that knowledge is power and everything, right? And well, and one of the magazines had the information about the Sumer civilization, and I remembered when I found out that information, I got this feeling for, feeling of pride for humankind, that the Sumer was such great people, that they had such a law that the leaders of their society said that they should be taking care of people, their health, their well-being, should take care of people's needs. And then when I became a volunteer of the Creative Society project, I understood so that actually the Sumer civilization was not that good. I mean, because it should be kind of, shameful that during 6,000 years since the Sumer times, we have not quite reached anything worth. Because even when, have such issues today as people trafficking and slavery and people existing in cages, and because the reason for hunger, what used to be 6,000 years ago or today is, again, money, and a human life costs nothing in the consumer society. That is why it is really very urgent that we should build the creative society. We should there is no other alternative only this one, the creative society. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes, and you are absolutely right. Since 6,000 years, the value of a human life is being assessed based on the amount on the bank account. Maybe then there wasn't any bank account, but the point is that in today's society, money is on the first place, and a human value does not mean anything. And I would also like to ask the next question, and maybe I would like to ask Dr. Uba. So there are people who have watched the conference who agree with the information that has been stated in the conference, who are aware, but who for some reasons are afraid to speak up, are afraid to be condemned, are afraid or just look outside of the window and have doubts whether the information provided is truthful and stuff like that. What would you advise to these people? How would you encourage them to spread the information about creative society? Since if we build creative society depends on every single of us. And unless we pass the first stage and inform every single person so that at least 50% of population of a particular state support creative society, we won't be able to change anything. So how would you encourage, how would you motivate these people to speak up, to not be afraid?
Thank you. Like I said before about consciousness, there are awakened souls. It's their job to wake other people. So people, volunteers of creative society are awakened, and they are the ones spreading this message to wake other people. So by constant spreading the message, people will get to, like there are people following me. Initially, when I started promoting creative society, because of that word society, some people that are religious fanatics, they started questioning me. Are you now a member of a society? They see that word society as a fraternity or occult group. So everything depends on presentation. So I changed the way I was promoting creative society to let them know that this group of volunteers all over the world, humanitarians, making a difference. That's when people started asking me, how can they join? And I send them information, website. I always post everything with the website of Creative Society so that when people read what I wrote, they can now follow the link and go to the website where they can see more information. But I believe that there are so many people out there that are skeptical about creative society. Some of them from my own followers has confronted me with questions, and I've been able to convince them of what creative society is all about. So maybe you need to hammer, like, the truth is there. It's only a person who pays attention will understand this truth, and a person who wants a change will see the change that creative society is bringing. By using our voice, we will ignite a change. And that's what creative society is all about. You're a voice that is igniting change. And that change is a constant process. So for those people out there who are afraid to speak up, who are afraid to give a voice to the voiceless, let today be a wake-up call. Let the videos that you have watched about the climate change be a wake-up call to see that humanity is in trouble. The generation unborn, is our duty to wake up, to rise up, and do something to save not only our own generation, but the generations unborn? What will be the legacy that you want to leave behind? If you keep your mouth shut and be afraid of speaking your truth, what is the legacy are you going to leave for your generation unborn? It's time for you to rise. It's time for you to speak up. It's time for you to say your truth. Each and every one of us came into this world with a purpose. What is your sole purpose? It's time to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. Start speaking your truth to yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself a question. What is my sole purpose on earth? Why am I here? When you find out your purpose, you will no longer be afraid to say your truth, because it's your God-given right to speak your truth. When you look yourself in the mirror, ask yourself, what is the legacy that I want to leave behind when I'm gone for generations unborn? It's time for you to rise. It's time for you to speak your truth. You have the right to speak your truth. Creative Society is giving you that voice. Creative Society is giving you that right. Come on this platform. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. If you know who I am, look me up online. You can inbox me. I will help you to come on board, to join Creative Society. It will cost you nothing, only your voice and your truth. Everybody out there, we all need to speak our truth. We all have the need to save humanity, to save our world, to make our world a better place. This world is ours to take care of. This world is ours to save by sitting in silence. You are not saving humanity. You are not doing the work you are here to do. We are caretakers of this world. By sitting in silence, you are not a caretaker. By living well, knowing fully well that there are other people who are in trouble, who are suffering, who are starving, and you're living for yourself. What is your conscience saying to you? When you wake up every day and you look at yourself in a mirror, what do you see? What is your purpose on earth? What is the legacy that you are leaving behind? This is a wake-up call for each and every human on earth to listen to Creative Society, to pay attention to Creative Society, to save our world, to save humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Uba. Very inspiring. And indeed, what is the legacy that we leave after us? Let's just imagine how we will be looking into the eyes of our kids. What will we tell them? I'm sorry I couldn't do anything? Or will we hear our children telling us, thank you for creating a wonderful world for us? So I absolutely agree with you. And I would also like to ask the same question to Erkinbek. What would you recommend to those people who still have doubts, despite they are aware about all of the information, they've watched the conference, but are afraid to speak up, to talk to their friends just in the streets or to unknown people? What would you advise them?
Спасибо за вопрос.
Thank you for your question. I really liked our previous speakers' information that creative society is about the truth. It really touched my heart because I believe that we should inform people about creative society from the bottom of our heart. First of all, you get to know about what is really happening in our world and about, you feel like helping and sharing this information with people. And very often people have this positive feedback. And when I of course, I give them the website links to the Creative Society, just show them some videos. As of today, it is important for us to pay attention, to act, and let other people join us, not just volunteers, but those who know about the Creative Society. I'm sure that we will build the Creative Society. I cannot imagine our future without the Creative Society. I cannot imagine, and I don't know what to imagine it without the Creative Society. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, dear speakers. We truly appreciate your participation in this discussion and your opinions that you have voiced and your understandings that you have shared. Dear viewers, if the information that you have heard matters to you and you would like to contribute to the greater good of all of humanity, please take action immediately. The information that you have heard today during the international discussion, and that was voiced by respected speakers from all parts of the world during the forum Global Crisis, Where People Will Want to Live. This has to be heard by every human being on the planet and has to be understood. If we want to be able to create a better future for all of us, so I encourage you, please share it with everyone, every person you know. It is actually as simple as that. And right now, let me address our viewers also who might be wondering how to take action. There are so many simple steps you can take. First of all, we are advising you to visit the website, find the link to the forum in your language, watch it. You can send us the email to our official email box, which is info@creativesociety.com. You can become a member or a speaker at such international discussions. Share this information right now with your social network, with people you know. And it is really time to speak up. So we are encouraging you, and we'll be more than happy to see you when you are joining us and the Creative Society project.
Yes, indeed. We must not be silent. We must tell our friends or any strangers about this project. Building creative society can only become realistic once we have accomplished the first and most difficult stage, and that is informing everyone about this possibility. We should reach every heart. We should reach every person and make them understand that it's really beneficial for all, for them. It's beneficial for every person on earth. Everyone benefits from being a human. Everyone benefits from being a united civilization. Share this forum with people you know in social media. Share your feedback and be the voice of the truth. It's a turning point for humanity. And let's make sure that we have got a future. It's worth it. Thank you very much, dear viewers. Thank you very much, our dear guests. And we will see each other at one of another international discussions. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you very much.
Обязательно увидимся. Спасибо вам большое.
We'll see each other by all means. Lots of thanks, dear friends. Lots of thanks.
До свидания.